All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into an absolutely incredible piece of ancient wisdom. And honestly, it's going to radically redefine how we handle life's inevitable challenges. We're looking at a classic fable from ancient China, one that completely strips away all those complex philosophies and heavy dogma we usually associate with spiritual teachings. Instead, it replaces all of that with something profoundly simple. We're talking about the tale of the three laughing monks. As we go through this, I really want you to keep an open mind about how you personally react to stress, because, well, the source material flips our standard reactions entirely upside down.
So think about this for a second. What if your only prayer was laughter? Seriously, imagine a spiritual practice with absolutely no words, no chants, no heavy ancient texts to memorize, zero long sermons to sit through. What if your entire expression of faith, your only teaching to the whole world, consisted of literally nothing but uncontrollable joy? Now, it sounds almost absurd, right? But as this fable reveals, this was the exact and highly effective method of the figures we're looking at today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The Three Laughing Monks. Let's look at who these legendary guys actually were.
According to the story, there lived these three old monks whose actual names are just completely lost to history. Today, they're known exclusively as the Three Laughing Monks. Why? Because they did absolutely nothing else but laugh. They always traveled together, they didn't preach, and they didn't offer any wise counsel. But here's the crazy part. Despite never speaking a single word to anybody, they were deeply loved and respected all across China. They communicated a unique philosophy that we can call the cosmic joke. It's this profound perspective that life shouldn't be some heavy burden, but rather a massive opportunity to just laugh and experience pure joy. It was like they possessed the punchline to the universe's greatest joke. Their laughter was their only prayer and their only teaching.
Moving on to Section 2, Spreading the Cosmic Joke. So you might be wondering, how exactly do you teach a whole philosophy without speaking a single word? And this brilliantly illustrates their method. The monks had this incredibly simple, wordless, four-step process for spreading joy. First, they'd enter a village or town and just stand right in the center of the main square. Second, they'd just start laughing. That's it. Third, slowly but surely, that joy became totally infectious. The people living and working there, random passersby, they simply couldn't resist joining in. And finally, step 4, once the whole town was infected with this joy and laughing right along with them, well, that was their cue. They'd pack up and move on to the next village to do the whole shebang all over again.
Section 3. A shocking reaction to death. Now, this beautiful cycle of spreading happiness went on for years, until we hit a pretty dramatic and inciting incident. While visiting a northern province, one of the three monks suddenly dies. Now, death is the ultimate test of any spiritual philosophy, right? The villagers came running. They literally left their agricultural fields unattended for the day, fully expecting a typical scene of sorrow, mourning, crying. But what they actually found was a completely jarring reality. 2 monks were alive, 1 was dead, and those 2 remaining monks, they were laughing even harder. They were laughing hysterically and literally could not seem to stop. The contrast to the normal human expectation of grief was just absolutely staggering. Naturally, the villagers were in absolute disbelief. Finally, a few of the good people assisting with the scene had to approach the surviving monks, and they asked, "Why aren't you mourning for your deceased friend?" This is a massive moment in the fable, because to answer this question, for the very first time in their lives as teachers, the monks actually responded with words. Which brings us to Section 4, the old monk's final trick. The surviving monks revealed a hilarious secret to the baffled crowd.
So the crucial point is this. It turns out just the day before, their deceased friend, who they affectionately called an old rogue, had proposed a bet on which of the 3 of them would beat the other 2 and die first. And, well, he won. Their laughter was just the joy of losing a game to their dearest friend. But he wasn't done yet. Tradition required the villagers to wash the dead before placing him on the funeral pyre, but the old monk had explicitly asked in his testament to just be left in his old clothes. He stated, "I never allowed any of the filth of this world to reach me through my laughter." Because he had lived his entire life in a state of pure joy, he claimed he had never been filthy for even a single day. So, the villagers honored his wish.
And guys, here is where the story reaches its absolute astonishing climax. As the funeral pyre was lit and the flames started licking at his clothes, the old rogue delivered his final punchline. Suddenly, to everyone's absolute shock, hidden fireworks of 100 different colors went exploding up, down, and in all directions. There's no way around it. He had literally packed his own clothing with fireworks for his funeral. The sheer absurdity and just the beauty of the moment completely overwhelmed the crowd. And finally, all those villagers who had gathered to mourn, They joined the two wise men in uproarious, uncontrollable laughter.
Section 5. The ultimate lesson in joy. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we apply it. What did the three laughing monks mean for us today, right now, sitting in front of our screens?
So here's what we can really take away from this fable. First off, maybe the only reason we are actually here on this earth is so we can laugh. It completely shifts the purpose of life from accumulation and stress to pure experience. Second, we should aim to experience joy continuously, never stopping, just like the monks who made it their single practice. Third, your joy is what actually makes you alive. It's the truest sign of vitality, protecting you from the filth or negativity of the world. And finally, the most practical advice here, laugh your problems away. When the heavy things come, even the heaviest thing you can imagine, like death, laughter is presented as the supreme transcendent response.
Which brings us to our final thought. Next time you face a problem, a bad day at work, a really stressful situation, a moment where you just feel completely overwhelmed, will you give in to the stress, or will you look in the mirror, remember the three laughing monks, and just laugh the problem away? It's a radical choice for sure, but perhaps it's the only way to truly get in on the cosmic joke. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep smiling, and I'll catch you next time.